We'll begin this hour in Abuja, where the back and forth between the National Assembly and the judiciary on the deletion of Section 84, subsection 12 is taking a new turn. This is coming barely a week after Justice Adegboyega of the Federal High Court, Umuahia, Abia State, ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to delete the section from the Electoral Act. And with that judgment in mind, lawmakers in the Senate and House of Representatives have resolved to appeal the judgment. National Assembly correspondent Jokia reports.
Last Friday, a federal high court in Umuahia, Abia State, ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to immediately delete Section 84, subsection 12 of the amended Electoral Act. The section reads, "No political appointee at any level shall be voting as a delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election." Members of the House are enraged by the controversial judgment as Katsina State Legislator Sada Soli brings it up under matters of privilege. He says the judgment breached his right as a lawmaker.
A court, a judge, somewhere, Mr. Speaker, is given that right to an executive appointee encroaching into the principles of separation of powers.
Others who spoke on the motion cautioned against dragging the National Assembly in the mud by usurping its functions.
In the Constitution, where there is separation of powers and where we have been made by the provision of the Constitution for us to make laws, that somebody is trying to do our job.
The court should have made an order for the National Assembly to be joined before taking any action.
Members of this institution must rise against this aberration. We are not only lawmakers, we must be custodians of laws, and laws must have to be obeyed in this country.
I cannot sit here and allow the institution which I, at this present time, head and lead, to be ridiculed under my watch.
Arising from debate on the matter, the House resolved to appeal the controversial judgment. It also called on Abubakar Malami to stay action on the execution of the judgment, while it agreed to petition the National Judicial Council on the matter. President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law in February on the condition that the National Assembly will expunge Section 84, subsection 12. But barely 1 week after, a federal high court sitting in Abuja barred the president, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the National Assembly from tampering with the law. Jokia TVC News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami says the deletion of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022 is still a work in progress and is being considered as such. The Attorney General spoke while fielding questions from State House correspondents after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting earlier today. According to him, while the possibility of appeal is not in doubt, government creators and the Law Reform Commission responsible for the codification and gazetting of the laws are collaborating with the Office of the Attorney General to ensure any addition made to the law is in line with the provisions of the law.
It is indeed a work in progress against the background of the fact that the Law Reform Commission is involved statutorily in the, which is a ministry, a parastatal under the supervision of the Office of the Attorney General, is a party to the process of codification of the law. The government printers, which is saddled with the responsibility of gazetting our laws on the request of the Office of the Attorney General, is equally involved. And above all, as you rightly stated, the possibility of an appeal is equally there. So what I am saying in effect is deletion of Section 84, so Section 12 is a work in progress and is being considered as such.
Away from that, let's tell you that the Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of 92.12 billion naira for the construction of a second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. This approval is coming a day after President Buhari inaugurated a new terminal building at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika disclosed the development while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the virtual council meeting presided over by President Buhari. He said the entire sum would be spread over a number of projects to be carried out at the airport within a period of 12 months. According to the minister, the approval is a follow-up of President Buhari's directive to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to source special funding for the second runway of the airport.
Historically, there has been an attempt to put up a runway in Abuja. At the time, the company that was given the contract quoted 75 billion naira, and the contract was awarded, but Nigerians, through the People's Parliament, rose up and struggled for the contract to be cancelled. Perhaps what should have been done at that time, if funding or price was the issue, they could have reviewed it downwards to appropriate price and get the runway done, not throwing the baby with the bathwater. If that had happened during the life and times of the first government, we wouldn't have the need to shut down Abuja for repairs for some 6 odd weeks.
In the meantime, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies has called for transparency and strict adherence to standing orders in the removal of presiding officers of the Parliament. Director General NRLDS Abubakar Sulaiman spoke at the capacity building workshop for members of the Plateau State House of Assembly. We have details in this report.
The Plateau State House of Assembly has been in the news over the last few months. The leadership crisis that resulted in the removal of former Speaker and the fallout from the development remain topical. This capacity building workshop for members of the Plateau State House of Assembly is the first in the series for state parliaments in 2022. The roles of state houses of assembly before, during and after elections come into focus. Also of importance is the need to address procedures for removing presiding officers and improve transparency in the process. The new Electoral Act and the court judgments on defection from one party to another also form part of discussions here. More importantly, the nation's democracy must be strengthened, especially with the forthcoming general election. The organizers stress the importance of the legislature to democracy and harp on building the parliament as a formidable institution.
The essence of the workshop is to strengthen the capacity of Nigerian legislature, especially at the subnational level. This time around, we want to look at some development within the polity in the last couple of months ago. Those that borders on the new electoral, acts.
It's important to provide knowledge, to provide information to the members of parliament in order to give them a better basis for assessment. We do have a feedback mechanism. We are in permanent contact with our partner state houses of assembly, and we of course inquire to which extent our programs have impacted on their assignment and of course their fulfillment of this assignment.
For the beneficiaries, previous efforts like these have yielded good fruits. The Speaker also responds to the manner of his emergence.
Oh, well, you are aware with the Constitution is very clear that you had a mandate of a political party to take a position. By the time you defect to another party, usually that is the business. And so it happened.
The Institute, in collaboration with its partner, hopes to reach 18 states discussing topical issues in the polity before the 2023 general election in the country.
Let's talk security now. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, says Nigeria will win the fight against insurgency. Lieutenant General Yahaya made this known during his visit to Lagos. TVC News senior correspondent Ivy Kano reports.
Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, on operational visits to 81 Division area of responsibility. He intends to attend to welfare of his men, but that would be after giving honor to whom honor is due. At the Palace of Oba of Lagos, the royal fathers were waiting.
Ask that you should not please waver but continue to support us in this direction. Peaceful coexistence between people is very essential and very good. That's what will enhance our security and peaceful well-being.
The 81 division around here under the Major General has been well behaved. They are extremely disciplined.
Not far from the palace, there was a project to be commissioned by the army chief. To further strengthen the Nigerian military and civilians relationship, the Chief of Army Staff also commissioned ultra-modern borehole at the Saleko area of Lagos. A project, he said, was approved at the instance of Major General Olayinka Kadri, the commander of the Nigerian Army Corps of Engineers.
These projects will forever remind this community that the Nigerian Army brought water and light to them, and was facilitated by one of their sons who rose to the rank of a Major General in the Nigerian Army.
For the Chief of Army Staff, the country isn't doing badly in the fight against insurgency.
Have achieved a lot and is well applauded and recognized by the International Global Index of Terrorism. In other aspects of banditry and kidnapping also we are recording successes. With the support and the synergy between Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force and other security agencies and stakeholders we are on, we won't let the country down.
Other projects commissioned are Regimental Sergeant Major quarters at the Jordan and Albati Barracks, as well as warrant officers and sergeants' mess at Marada Barracks. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
The federal government has now given traders around federal highways and bridges a 7-day ultimatum to vacate the locations, not just in Akwongo, which is the scene of today's fire incident, but across Nigeria. The ultimatum was given by Director of Highways, Bridges and Designs at the Ministry of Works and Housing, Oluropo Oyetade, who represented the Minister of Works, Babatunde Fashola, during the inspection of the damage caused by the fire. Sarah Yeku has details.
The tailback of an early morning inferno. To escape the long hours, a ride on the motorcycle seemed the only but risky option. More than 18 hours, the bellowing smoke still evident, choking and blinding everything on its path. The fire drew all emergency responders, including the army. Traders estimate goods worth millions of naira have been destroyed. While they try to salvage what's left, the fear of eviction turns a peaceful community to a violent one. Finally, they settle to tell us what caused the fire.
Unfortunately, we sell food items like cake accessories, whatever. But we don't really know. I thought it's high voltage, that because it has never happened like this. But this is disastrous. So we are really pleading. We are pleading to the federal government to please have mercy on us, and we are promising it will never happen again.
Their statement contradicts that of emergency responders, since all they claimed was on a containerized structures were edibles. Then how come the fire lasted this long?
We were told that under the bridge, there are containerized shops under the bridge. Some of them are with petrol, some are with chemical. It was the chemical that exploded that erupted the bridge.
Traders under the Akwongo section of the Eko Bridge and other highways and bridges have been given a 7-day ultimatum to leave the area.
We're going to mandate all controllers in all other states to form the same task force, and we are going to exercise the same exercise nationwide. It's not restricted to Lagos alone. We are going to carry out this enforcement nationwide from now. If this particular bridge is even under contract, we just awarded the comprehensive maintenance of this bridge. The contractor has just started. See what we have again. This has to stop.
Thanks for staying with us. Ahead of the March 26th National Convention of the All Progressives Congress, the party's governors say they will back whoever President Buhari supports. The governors came up with this resolution earlier today after meeting with the president at the State House in Abuja. Led by chairman of the interim committee of the party and governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni, the governor said they have straightened out decisions ahead of the convention. Chairman of Progressive Governors Forum and governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, told State House correspondents that President Buhari had last month indicated he's in favor of the consensus mode for selecting candidates for the party's national positions.
We already stated our commitment to working together to ensure that the convention takes place on March 22nd, 2022. And then we agreed to support all the decisions that were taken by the caretaker committee, both acting as a working committee and acting with the donated powers given to it by the National Executive Committee. And indeed, the chairman of the caretaker, upon his return, also appreciated what the caretaker committee did and the decisions that were taken in his absence. Today, we all briefed Mr. President on that. Of course, included on that is the issue of distributing of political party offices to the respective zones, and our support for Mr. President's endorsement of the candidate for the national chairman of the party.
In the meantime, the APC has begun screening for aspirants vying for different elective positions ahead of its national convention slated for March 26. Based on the schedule of activities and timetable for the elective national convention, the screening of aspirants was earlier scheduled for last Saturday, followed by appeals on Sunday. The screening committee headed by Katsina State Governor Bello Masari is expected to round up the process as soon as possible.
With the All Progressives Congress National Convention Screening Committee having begun work late on Tuesday night, there are indications that all the national chairmanship aspirants will be cleared to face the delegates despite talks of a consensus option. This will be considered as a move to accommodate aspirants for all the positions to avoid any litigations. Aspirants for the national chairmanship office that had been zoned to the North Central include Abdullahi Adamu, Tankwal Makura, Sani Musa, George Akume, Saliu Mustafa, and Mohamed Esu. The screening started by 10 p.m. on Tuesday and lasted till midnight. Aspirants have described the process so far as credible.
The process is okay. I mean, the way the setup inside is quite okay. And I mean, you're just seeing the crowd outside, but inside we did it very well and everything went well. And I believe that the best will come out of what they are doing tonight.
It was an interactive session, so to speak, and I think I learned quite a lot from them, and maybe they learned a little from me as well, but by and large, it went on well.
Although the party zoned the chairmanship seat to the North Central, one aspirant, Abdulaziz Yari, is determined to present himself in an open contest for the position. With this, the committee will now screen all aspirants for all zoned positions, extending them the privilege. Habib Alawal, TVC News, Abuja.
And as the APC prepares for its national convention, the FCT Police Command says it's implementing what it describes as a robust strategy to ensure safety of lives and property before, during, and after the national convention scheduled to hold on Saturday. The strategy includes increased deployment and raids of black spots in Abuja. Sifonesian has more.
Preparations are gaining momentum at the venue, Eagle Square here, where the APC convention will be holding on Saturday. The stage is presently being erected, and we're told that security operatives and Mufti have been deployed in and around these premises. The FCT police have said that they have a robust strategy to ensure safety of life and property before, during, and after the convention.
In APC convention now, we are not new to it. We are activating from Friday to Saturday to Sunday. It's a 3 days movement we are doing to ensure safety before, during, and after the convention. That's what we are doing. We have mobilized robustly, we have deployed robustly to make sure everybody is safe.
We're also told that security operatives have been deployed to facilities where APC members and delegates would be lodging during and after the convention.
Every committee, just like the security committee, all the committees, all the leaders, all the delegates, members and stalwarts of APC are enthusiastic and jeering and working assiduously towards a successful national convention of the APC. And we want to assure you and assure Nigerians that APC as the biggest political party in Africa, we are coming off the convention stronger, more solid.
The whole hotels that they gave us, even the one they didn't give us, we have discovered that they have put in some of their supporters and friends and this. We are guarding the whole hotels. We are monitoring the whole hotel. We have raided a lot of shanties and miscreant areas in Abuja, especially black spots, to ensure that the area is safe for everybody. Because not only APC people that are in town, PDP people are equally in town, and the other parties are equally. Some are doing their convention in different hotels.
The police are assuring that it should be cool and calm during and after the convention.
In Osun State, Chairman of the APC, Adegboyega Oyetola, has expressed readiness of members in the state to participate in the national convention of the party slated for Saturday. Mr. Oyetola was addressing journalists shortly after swearing in members of the state and local executives of the party. We have details in this report.
The state and local government executives of the APC were elected last year. As required by law, Oyetola Oyetola administered oath of office and allegiance on the executives. He says arrangements have been concluded to ensure participation of eligible members in the national convention of the party in Abuja.
The road is clear for us for the convention on the 26th of March, and as a state, we are getting ready to go. And this is part of our preparation. Those people sworn in today are all delegates at the national convention. And the swearing in of today will enable them to qualify to vote at the national convention.
My advice for my colleagues in the State Executive Council is that we should abide by the constitution of our party. We should abide by the oath of office and oath of allegiance we have taken, and we ensure that we are good ambassadors of the party wherever we are.
Elsewhere, members of the party in Iwo expressed their readiness to ensure Governor Adegboyega Oyetola continues in office beyond 2022.
We are very strong and we are fully in support of our governor for the second time. We are on ground and we are fully on ground.
At the 29th Empowerment Program organized by Senator Adelere Oriolowo, the party faithful also solicits support of the people of the state for the present administration. Power generating sets, tricycles, grinding machines are some of the items distributed to the beneficiaries, including some traditional rulers.
Tell everybody that, look, I'm not going to teach you how to eat fish, but I will equally teach you the art of fishing. So that's the essence. And if you look at all these items being distributed to the constituents today, you will see they are all things that could enhance the business of our people.
We have advised all the beneficiaries that they should be using this as a personal property and take care of it. Not for sale. They should not sell them. It is given to them for their own personal use. This, even the smallest of them, is sufficient enough to make one succeed.
Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.